Hello YouTube. We are currently we're not in a new location. This isn't going to be where you normally see like my new videos. We're actually on vacation, and that's kind of what we're about to talk about is our trip to South Dakota. Hold on, I have to check this text message.
Also, I won't be in the background of every single one of his videos.
Yeah, that's Richard, who was one of the people who came with us. 3 of our group are already headed back home. Reed, who is never wherever you expect him to be, is not where we expected him to be. And the girls are over there in their own room. One sec. We're about to go to Crazy Horse, and we're texting one of our compatriots to see if he wants to go.
It's funny. It's like a reverse mirror.
Yeah, I know. It tripped me out the first time I started recording too.
I raise this hand, and the hand on, like my left hand on the screen goes up, but it's not like, it's like, I get amused by the simplest of things. Also, it's a little laggy, so I do this.
Yeah,
I get to see myself finish doing it, and I'm like, did I really look that stupid doing that?
It looks laggy in the recording, but then when you actually put it up, it
won't look
smooth. But,
yeah, it'll look. Of course, it'll look smooth. I mean, there's a delay, so you can see what you're doing.
Yeah, in case I like royally fuck something up, which I have before, and had to go back and edit it out.
You'll probably have to beep that fuck if you don't want your video to get flagged.
I've said fuck like 1,000 times in my YouTube videos.
Okay, so fine, sorry. When you get popular, you'll have to...
Yeah, when I get popular, when like more than 20 people actually view this, then I'll have to go out and beat that fuck out. True. But then again, Ray William Johnson, he doesn't like, when he does like his actual vlogs, like Breaking New York or whatever, they cuss in that, and he doesn't believe a thing, whatever. Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. We went to, and I don't want to put them on blast, because I can safely tell you I'm not going to like be very positive about this convention. But we were at, I think the name of the convention is just SoDak Anime Con, isn't it?
It's SoDak. I think they go by SoDak Con.
Okay.
I think it might be. I think wrong direction.
Well, the point being is that we're in South Dakota right now.
Rapid City.
Yeah.
There's a window over here. That's why I was looking this way.
Right. So we're 9 hours away from home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, we're in Mountain Time right now, so it's 5:05 where you guys are. Well,
if you're in Central Time, it would be 5. Yeah. No, yeah, it'd be 5:05.
It's 5:05 at home, and it's 4:05 here.
So, but we made this 9-hour trip, and we came to this con, and it's really not. It really wasn't like any con we're used to going to. Like the cons we're used to going to usually have like there's literally like hundreds upon hundreds of people there.
I hope I didn't just accidentally flip everyone off.
There's usually like at Nebraska, there's usually like 17 different panels going on at the same time. Of course, that's an exaggeration, and so we got here, and needless to say, it was very, 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 very different than what we were used to. At any given time, there's only 2 events going on at this convention. There's one that they call a panel, and then there'd be one that's called the main event. So like things like the cosplay competition and like they had a medieval weapons demo. Those were things that would be considered main events, and then like other like goofy things. I guess maybe not goofy isn't the right word, but like things that they can do in a smaller room would be called panels. And so like that was the first very unfortunate thing, because the convention center that the con is in is so amazing. Like it's just like if they had the money and the people and all of that, it would have been, and they rented out that whole thing, it really could have been a great con. Now, I mean, you know, I guess we do kind of have to be fair, and we are like in Rapid City, South Dakota, and I'm going to wager that most people who are watching this, unless you live in Rapid City, probably have little to no idea of where Rapid City is. So, well, actually, I guess that's not true, because this is technically where, you know, Mount Rushmore is, and the Crazy Horse Monument, which we're about to go to in a minute, are all located. But even still, like most people, there's not a lot of people here. There's not. This isn't like. This definitely isn't a city that is like booming with like tourists or anything like that. So, I mean, I guess we do have to cut the con some slack due to location. And like I said, that's why I don't want to get up here and like just totally rip the con a new one, because it didn't live up to my standards. No, it's probably not a con that I would come back to. But then again, like, I'm used to a very different con scene. And part of it was the fact that we had to drive 9 hours to get here. Like, honestly, if this was for us a local con, it really wouldn't have been that bad. You know, it would have been a pretty nice way to kill a weekend. You know, if we lived in Rapid City. But this isn't a con that I definitely would want to take like another 9-hour trip to get to. You know. So, like I said, I don't want to call it bad. Again, another problem it had is that cons definitely require people to be successful. And there definitely was not a lot of people coming to this con. There wasn't like an influx of people coming here. There wasn't like, you know, just like thousands of people, even though the convention center could have hosted thousands of people. You know, there wasn't that kind of traffic, you know. So I hope this con can grow into something like become the next NebraskaCon, or become like NakaCon or something. I mean, you know, because definitely the Midwest convention scene kind of lacks in comparison to things you would get on like either coast,
especially, you know, the legitimate like middle of the country. We're not talking about like Illinois or Ohio, because technically Ohio is Midwest, quote unquote, but like the legitimate middle of the country.
As you get farther out to either east or west, cons get a whole hell of a lot better. Like, you know, I'm sure from what I hear, like all the cons, and like Illinois gets so many different conventions, and I never hear like anything bad about any of those conventions. So, and like I said, I don't, even though I've kind of walked around, and I think people would kind of think that I thought this was a bad con. It wasn't, because trust me, we went to a bad convention. We went to, it was MAC, Minneapolis Anime Convention, and that was the one. Well, you didn't, but we did, and that was an awful convention. So much so that convention isn't even run anymore. And then like the convention, like the convention for Minneapolis was taken over by the people who run Anime Minneapolis, which I personally am actually a little sad that I'm not going to get to attend this year, because we went last year and we really enjoyed that one. But so yeah, this was not a bad con. I want to just throw that out there. It was not a bad con. It was not what I'm used to. There wasn't a whole lot for us to do. There wasn't a lot that we were interested in at any given point in time. Like the Saturday of the con, me and Sean, who I kind of wish was actually still here, because then he could talk about what I'm going to get to in a minute. We spent the majority of that day in the game room, and we played.
Hey, I was there too.
Well, right. A lot of us spent the majority of the day in the game room.
Yeah, like Reed and I, the other guy who's with us, we started sitting out of it. I guess I should look toward the camera so they don't think I'm addressing one person off in space. But
shit, I don't.
Also, let me scoot over so they can see me. But we sat outside the game room as soon as our panel finished in the morning. It was supposed to be a 2-hour panel, but the people who were supposed to run it ended up not showing. So the con chair, the head of the convention, actually came in and improvised an hour panel for us. Thankfully, she was a fan of that particular subject matter, so it didn't have to. She didn't have to like just make things up as she went along. But we were sitting outside the game room. We started sitting outside the game room at like 11. We officially entered the game room at about noon to get ready for the tournament that they were having. And then we actually didn't get to start the tournament until 1 because the game they were using didn't have all the characters unlocked. So we had to sit there for 20 minutes, run through this really quick way to unlock all of the characters, have all the characters unlocked. That took about half an hour.
And we'll get to Coliseum Gaming, and trust me, I'm going to put them on blast, and I don't really give a shit about putting them on blast, but we'll get to them in a minute. But like things like that is what I'm talking about when I say like a lot of things happen that made this con not good, but weren't necessarily their fault. Like it's not their fault that the people who were supposed to run that panel didn't show up, you know. And like another event that I was looking forward to was they were supposed to be playing the dub of the Tales of Vesperia anime, and I guess what happened there is that Funimation, it was Funimation's idea. Like they came to them directly and said, "Hey, you guys should play the Tales of Vesperia anime," and the con was like, "Okay, cool." As it turns out, the fucking dub isn't even out yet in America, so it was impossible for them to air it because it's not even out. So
good job, Funimation.
Yeah, I love you to death, Funimation, but y'all goofed on that one. You really did.
Still a better dubbing company than 4Kids.
Very true.
What's Sanji got in his mouth? Oh, it's a lollipop.
Yeah. So I'm not mad at you guys, Funimation, in case like any Funimation employee happens to like view this. In fact, I really enjoy Funimation, but I just that was a goof. You gotta admit that was a goof.
But if any 4Kids employee views this, we hate you.
Yeah, we hate you, but
and we don't care that you know it.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna see if I can get the girls to get in on this.